ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। श्री Sanjay Uvacha, not Bhagavan Uvacha. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. We are doing the 7th shloka. Sanjay Uvacha. Within Sanjay Uvacha, it is actually Duryodhana Uvacha, shloka number 7. Having talked to Dronacharya, Drona is the Acharya. Having talked to Dronacharya, the Acharya of the Kauravas and the Pandavas, you remember the previous class. In the battlefield, Raja Duryodhanaha, why Duryodhana is called Raja? Sanjaya refers to Duryodhana as the king. Raja Duryodhanaha, Acharyam Upasangamya, having approached the Dronacharya, spoke the words, the following words. He was referring to the great warriors on the side of Pandavas. Now he is going to present the warriors on his side. The people, the great warriors, the people who have joined his alliance, he was going to present to Dronacharya for his information. So therefore, having talked to Dronacharya about the important people in the army of Pandavas, now he didn't change the topic to those in his own army. There are great warriors on the side of Pandavas, and there are also great people, great warriors, Maharataha, Atirataha, they are also on the side of Kauravas. Like Bhishmacharya is there, Dronacharya himself is there, Ashwatthama is there, Karna is there, and all his brothers. So many others also have joined. So all the people are there on the side of the Kauravas. In fact, the strength of Duryodhana's army is more than that of the Pandavas. Pandava, they had only 7 Akshoginis. Akshogini consists of certain number of horse riders, certain number of infantry, certain number of elephant riders. So it's called Akshogini. You will see what Akshogini is later in the footnote it is given. Whereas Kauravas, that is Duryodhana, he had 11 Akshoginis. So in terms of number, in terms of the strength, that in terms of the strength of the army, that too in terms of the number, if you evaluate the strength of the army in terms of number, then Duryodhana's army is stronger. Duryodhana's army is stronger. Therefore, he is going to introduce those people who were on his side. Let us read the shloka number 7. Asmakam tu vishishtaye
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये
तानि बोध द्विजोत्तम
तानि बोधद्विजोत्तमा
नायका मम सैन्यस्य
नायका मम सैन्यस्य
संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते
संज्ञार्थं तां ब्रवीमि ते.
So Duryodhana speaks these words. In fact, he continues from the third shloka onwards. Asmakam ye vishishtaha tan nibodha. He Dvijottama. Dvijottama, Dvija Uttama. Dvija is Brahmana. Dvija is Brahmana. In fact, Dvija means those who are twice born. How it is called twice born? Why it is twice born? One birth is physical birth, Janma. One Janma is physical Janma. Another Janma by the Samskara karma, the Upanayana karma. That is done for the three Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. In fact, the three. So, at the time of the Upanayana, when the boy is initiated into Gayatri, is called, it's a samskara karma. Is called that initiation is called Upanayanam, and that samskara, because of that samskara, it is considered he is born again. Physical birth is one birth, and second birth, physical birth, followed by the second birth, and that is because of samskara karma. Why that karma? Why that second karma? Second, the birth, that samskara karma is required because everyone who is born is prakrita. Prakrita means not civilized, not educated, not having enough knowledge to do vyavahara in the world dharmically, to do vyavahara legitimately, to interact with the world legitimately. Therefore, the samskara karma converts the prakrita purusha, the animal person, into a real human being. That samskara, from that samskara karma onwards, starts his education. He goes to the Gurukula and stays with the teacher for 12 years. So at the age of 8, this samskara, Upanayanam is done. Then he goes to the Gurukulam and stays with the teacher for 12 years, gains knowledge. Then he becomes a samskara purusha. Samskara is opposite of prakrita. Prakrita is uncivilized. Samskara is civilized. Now he becomes a civilized person, educated person. He learns values. He learns the value of following the values. Now that person is fit to be in the society. That person now, he can interact in the society, properly in the society. Before the samskara, as a child that doesn't know how to interact, how to do vyavahara with the world. Now, having gained the knowledge, it gains certain maturity, certain pakwata, knows do's and don'ts. Previously, it doesn't know do's and don'ts. Now, it becomes more responsible, understands do's and don'ts, follows dharma, avoids adharma because of this knowledge. The knowledge, the study, the Gurukula Vasa, which starts after the Upanayana ceremony. Therefore, that out of the samskara the person is born second time. Those who are born, those who have the second birth, like this, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they are called Dvijaha. Dvija. Dvida Bhavati. Two times. Dvi is two. Ja is Janma. Ja is Janma. Previously Prakritaja, now become Samskritaja. So Dvija is twice born. Twice born meaning the person has completed his Gurukula Vasa, gained knowledge, invested with the sacred thread, initiated into the Gayatri Mantra, deserves to pursue Shastram, so etc. All these karmas for which all the study and even for the karma also, Veda Vigita karma. For doing the Veda Vigita karma, the person becomes eligible. The eligibility is gained by the second birth. So mainly Dvija is referring to the Brahmanas, even though other Varna also, Kshatriya, Vaishya also, they also are invested with this Upanayanam, sacred thread. But predominantly, Brahmanas are called, addressed by the word Dvija. And here Dronacharya is a Brahmana. By Janma is a Brahmana, Jati Brahmana. And he had undergone this samskara, Upanayana samskara. He has got a sacred thread also. So therefore, twice born, being a Brahmana by Jati, and having undergone the samskara, he has got Upanayana. So two times born, therefore referring to Brahmana by Jati also Brahmana, by Samskara karma also, now he has become a Brahmana iti. So Dvija Uttama, and he is the greatest. Uttama. Uttama meaning the greatest among the twice born, the greatest among the Brahmanas. Iti Raja Duryodhana addresses the Dronacharya. And he says, Asmakam, on our side, Visishtaha, great people are there. Visishtaha, important people, Mama Sainyasya, of my army. He says the army, my army. And they are Nayakaha, the leaders. Tan Niboda. Please make note of them. I name them for your information. Even though Dronacharya knows. But still, Duryodhana wants to remind. As he reminded the warriors on the side of Pandavas, so too he reminds the warriors on his side also. Sanyartham, for the information, in order to introduce. Tan brevimi, agam brevimi. Agam vadami, brevimi vadami. I mention for your information. I mention the leaders of our army, the heroes of our army. Hey Dvijottama. And here Dvijottama can also be interpreted as it's a sarcastic way of addressing Dronacharya. To remind that he is a Brahmana, Jati Brahmana, not a born Kshatriya. Is a born by birth, is a Brahmana, not a Kshatriya. So to tell him that you are a Brahmana only, not a born Kshatriya, whereas I am a born Kshatriya. So sarcastic way of addressing Dronacharya. Otherwise, could have addressed Acharya also with respect, as he did before. So Dvijottama, and also with this Dvijottama also can be interpreted other way also. He is a Uttama. Uttama, the word is there. Therefore, you can take is praising the Acharya. You are the greatest among all the Brahmanas. Even though you are Brahmana, but in the Shastra Jnanam, you are the greatest. Equivalent to Kshatriyas. You are equivalent to Kshatriya in facing the opponents in the army. So therefore, Dvijottama also can be taken as a prize also. In both ways, it is possible. Anyway, now let us continue. The people who had joined Duryodhana were also not just ordinary soldiers. They too were leaders. Maharataha, Atirataha. We saw in the last class Maharata, Atirata, then Rataha, then Ardharata. Maharatas are those people who can single-handedly can tackle more than 10,000 are this bowmen. They can handle. At the same time, protecting himself, the chariot, the horses, and the charioteer also. Such people are called Maharatas. So, wanting to point this out to Drona, Duryodhana again said, in order to introduce them to you, I will mention them by name. Tan bravimi, sanyatam, nayakaha, tan bravimi. For your information, sanyatam is for your information. I tell them by their names. So he is going to tell the names of the people, important people, not all the people, on his side. In this verse, he addressed Drona as Dvija Uttama, the best among the twice born. A Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya are considered to be born again. Born again. Why born again? First Janma is through the womb of the mother. Second Janma, the birth, is through introducing him to the Shastram through the Guru. Therefore, born again. The three Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they are considered to be twice born. When they are initiated into Gayatri Mantra, very important. Gayatri Mantra only, initiation into Gayatri Mantra only gives the eligibility for the study of Shastram. When they enter the Gurukulam, even entry into the Gurukulam itself requires initiation into Gayatri Mantra. Entry into Gurukulam is entry into the study of the Shastram, which means the students must be initiated into Gayatri Mantra. So Gayatri Mantra, the Japa are done by all the three Varnikas. Drona was described by Duryodhana as Uttama, the best, because he was a learned teacher of archery, even though being Brahmana, but he is Uttama, he is extremely skilled, mastered in archery. By Dharma, by Jati Dharma, by Kula Dharma, Dronacharya is supposed to do Vaidika Karma, supposed to do Brahmana Karma. But he has taken the karma of Kshatriya. In spite of that, no one is equivalent to Dronacharya. He is a master in archery. So therefore, the Uttama, the word tells is, Dvija, the word tells is a Brahmana. Uttama tells, in spite of being a Brahmana, you are a learned person in archery. Master, he is a great master. So therefore, Dvija Uttama. As I told, Dvija, the word, is for reminding Dronacharya that is after all a Brahmana. That way also possible. Dvija, you are a Brahmana only. So like that sarcastic way of addressing, that is also possible. Or because he says Uttama, because of the emphasis on the word Uttama, he can take, he is a master, he is a great, even though born in a Brahmana, is great among the Brahmanas. Great among the Brahmana. Great among the Brahmana, not because he follows the Brahmana Dharma. In spite of being in the Brahmana Jati, he has become great because of his knowledge of archery. So therefore, that meaning also possible. Anyway, Dvija Uttama is, that word conveys that Dronacharya was a Brahmana by birth. Dvija, Brahmana. Brahmana Kshatriya, we can say, is a Brahmana Kshatriya. There are some characters in the Mahabharata itself. Kshatriya Brahmana, Brahmana Kshatriya. Born in a Kshatriya Kula, but Brahmana. Born in a Brahmana Kula, but by profession becomes a Kshatriya. So Dronacharya is an example. Born in a Brahmana Kulam, but by profession is a Kshatriya. Similarly, Parashurama, though a Brahmana, but is a master in archery, Kshatriya. So Brahmana Kshatriya. So these are all possible. The one is in terms of jati, the by janma, which kula is born. Other one by terms of the profession, as Bhagavan Krishna says in the Gita itself. Chaturvarnya maya system, guna karma vibhaga yoho. So guna and karma. Karma also determines. Karma is determined by their guna, by their natural characteristics, guna. Rajoguna, if it is dominant, then the person will naturally will be inclined to fighting, will be inclined to doing activity, intense activity like the military activities, joining the military, etc. So therefore, Dronacharya, Brahmana is a Brahmana Kshatriya. So in that way also we can take Dujottama addressing Dronacharya as a Brahmana Kshatriya. By Janma by birth you are a Brahmana, but by profession you are a Kshatriya, Brahmana Kshatriya. It is a prize also, it is a prize only. You can take it as a prize, Prashamsa. And being a guru to Duryodhana, therefore, we can take it as a Prashamsa, is praising, way of addressing, at the same time praising his guru. Then Duryodhana mentions the names of the people on his side. Describing his own army, Duryodhana said, Shloka number 8, we will read. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha. Please read the transliteration. Sanskritam, typo, there are typos.
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Kripascha Samitinjayaha
Rupascha Samitim Jayaha
Ashvathama Vikarnascha
Ashvathama Vikarnascha
Saumadattir Jayadratah
Saumatatirjayatrataha
Anye cha Bhagavashuraha
Anye cha Bahava Shuraha
Madharthe Tyakta Jivitaha
Matarte Tyakta Jivitaha
Nana Shastra Praharanaha
Nana Shastra Praharanaha
Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha.
Sarve Yoda Visharadaha.
So he's telling the people on his side. Bhavan is you. That is Dronacharya. Bhavan Asti. In my army, Mama Sainya, Bhavan Asti. Bhavan is Acharya, Dronacharya. Bhavan Asti. Then Bhishmacharya, Bhishmascha. Then Karnaha, his friend, close friend. Then Kripascha. Kripa is the brother of the wife of Dronacharya. Wife of Dronacharya is Kripi, his brother is Kripa. He is also one of the Chiranjeevi. There are Sapta Chiranjeevis. Sapta Chiranjeevi. Sapta Chiranjeevi is 7 people, they are Chiranjeevi. They don't have Maranam. They don't have Maranam. They don't have Maranam. It is in the Shastram, their names are given. Like Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama also considered to be one of the Chiranjeevi. They don't have Maranam, death. Ashwatthama is one. Vyasacharya, of course, Hanuman. Then Vibhishana, Kripacharya, Parashurama, and Mahabali Chakravarti. These are they say 7 Chiranjeevi, immortals. Vyasacharya also. Vyasacharya, Hanuman, Vibhishana, Kripacharya, Parashurama, Mahabali, and Ashwatthama. So 7. So therefore here, Kripa, where is Kripa? Kripacharya also. In fact, it is, we say 7, but Kripacharya is 1. Therefore, Ashta you can take. Ashta Chiranjeevis. 8 immortals. 8 immortals. This Kripa, then Kripa also to be included. In fact, Kripacharya is also one among them. The famous are 8, but Kripacharya also to be included. Sometimes they say 7, sometimes they say 8, sometimes they say 15. There are some numbers in the variation, but 8 is fine. 8 Chiranjeevis. They are blessed. They are blessed people to be immortal. Kripacharya. So after the war, Kripacharya survived. He was there. Because Chiranjeevi, Ashwatthama also. Ashwatthama and Kripacharya, all the people on the side of Kauravas were destroyed. Even Dronacharya were killed. But Ashwatthama and Kripacharya, they survived. Because they are Chiranjeevis. So Bhavan, Dronacharya is there, Bhishma is there, Karna is there, then Kripa is there, Samitinjayaha, Kripacharya, Samitinjayaha is his victory is always in the war. Samitinjayaha. So Kripa, who is always victorious in the war. Jayaha is victory. Samiti is in the war. Sangrame, Yuddhe is always victorious. They always win the war. So Kripa, the footnote you can see, was the brother of Drona's wife, Kripi. So he taught archery to Kaurava and Pandava princes before Dronacharya became their master. So before the arrival of Dronacharya, it was Kripacharya who taught Astra Shastram to Kauravas and Pandavas. And he is counted one among the Chiranjeevis, those who live forever, to Kripacharya. And Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama is also one of the Chiranjeevi. He was a son of Dronacharya. And is also one of the Chiranjeevis. He was so fiercely devoted to Duryodhana that finally on the last day, this also, that is, he survived. And Duryodhana also was killed. So he was so much attached to Duryodhana, he could not withstand the death of Duryodhana. Therefore, after the war, on the last day of the war, 18th day, the war was over. Then this Ashwatthama, he went to the Pandavas' army and they were sleeping. All the sons of the Pandavas were sleeping, and others also. So everyone he killed. When they were sleeping, he killed. Not the Pandavas. Pandavas, they were not that they escaped. But other than the Pandavas, all the people on the side of the Pandavas were killed by Ashwatthama. And having come to know this, Arjuna got furious, and there was a fight was about to commence between Arjuna and Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama, he took the Brahmastra. Brahmastra, it's like an atom bomb. It will destroy the entire world. He released the Brahmastra. Then Bhagavan Krishna intervened. He said, you take back the Brahmastra. Otherwise, this will destroy the world. Brahmastra, if Arjuna also releases Brahmastra, then it will destroy the world. Therefore, he ordered Ashwatthama to withdraw the Brahmastra, but he doesn't know how to withdraw the Brahmastra, probably. And Bhagavan Krishna intervened and nullified the Brahmastra, and to appease the anger of Arjuna, Bhagavan Krishna told, you remove the crown which Ashwatthama was having on his head. That is equivalent to killing the person. Without killing, you just remove the crown, the person is honor. That honor is this is not let this you remove the crown. Remove the crown is equivalent to more than killing, more than physical killing. Dishonoring the person. For a Kshatriya, honor, that Maryada is important. They cannot withstand dishonor. So dishonoring a Kshatriya is more than killing the Kshatriya. So dishonoring the person is more than killing. So happened to be the son of Dronacharya. and also being a Chiranjeevi. So, as ordered by Krishna, Arjuna removed that crown of Ashwatthama, even though Ashwatthama begged him to kill, but he didn't kill. He removed the crown and let him go. That is more than killing. So that is the revenge. That is the revenge Arjuna took on Ashwatthama. And here you can see the footnote. He was so fiercely devoted to Duryodhana that finally on the last day, when he was sure that there was no more hope for Duryodhana, he went at night to the camp of the Pandavas and killed all the men there when they were sleeping. That's a papa. He did that papa karma. Therefore, only Bhagavan Krishna also got furious, and he wanted to punish Ashwatthama and Arjuna also. Therefore, he punished them by dishonoring. Dishonor is the punishment. And being a Chiranjeevi, it cannot be killed also. Is immortal, lives forever. So how to punish the person? By dishonoring him. So that is killing. So Ashwatthama and Vikarna. So two Chiranjeevis are there. Then Vikarna. Vikarna is another important person, one of the brothers of Duryodhana, but is like Vibhishana of Ramayana. Is a dharmika person. Not like the Duryodhana or other brothers. Vikarna is an exception. A son of Dhritarashtra, an exception among the Dhritarashtras, and was noted for his sense of justice and righteousness. Is dharmika. He was a dharmika person. He was the only one who protested against the humiliation of Draupadi in the Kaurava Sabha. All the others in the Sabha were silent when Draupadi was insulted, when Draupadi was disrobed. He was the only person. He was the only person who raised the voice. So therefore, dharmika person, but happened to be on the side of Duryodhana. What to do? Because of being a brother, therefore he could not give up his brother. Unlike Vibhishana, Vibhishana gave up Ramana and joined the side of Rama. But here, Vikarna could not do. He was still on the side of the Kauravas only. So Vikarna. And Saumadatti, son of Somadatta. Saumadatta is a Tadita word. Somadattasya apatyam bhuman Saumadatta. Saumadatta. Who is Saumadatta? Who is Saumadatta? The son of Somadatta. Footnote number 4. That is Bhurishava. He was a grandson of Bahlika, the older brother of Shantanu. Shantanu, the father of Pandu. Pandu, as well as Dhritarashtra. The son of Bhishma, not Pandu. The son of Bhishma. Bhishmacharya's father is Shantanu. His older brother is Baglika. His grandson is Bhurishava. Therefore, Somadatta is Bhurishava. Another name for Somadatta. Saumadatta. Somadatta is a person. His son is Saumadatta. Saumadatta is here, Anyanama. Another name of Saumadatta is Bhurishava. So, Bhurishava. Sorry, Somadatta is Somadatta is Bhurishava. Okay, not Somadatta. Somadatta's another name is Bhurishava. His son is Somadatta. The name of the son, in the name of the son, you will see the father. The identity of the name is, the son is identified with the father's name. That is done by the grammar, it is done by the Tadita, we call Tadita Pratyayas. Like Dasharati. Dasharati is son of Dasharatha is Rama. Dasharati. Son of Somadatta is Saumadatti. So Somadatta's another name is Bhurishava, and Bhurishava was the grandson of Balika, and he is the elder brother of Shantanu. Shantanu, the father of Dronacharya. That is how the cycle. Anyway, these are all important people. That much you know, that is enough. Then Jayadratha. Another important person, Jayadratha. Jayadratha, the husband of Dushala. Dushala was the only daughter of Dhritarashtra, sister of Duryodhana. So this Jayadratha, he was the husband of Duryodhana's sister, Dushala, and the king of Sindhu Desha. He was a great warrior. He was instrumental in the death of Abhimanyu by stopping the Pandavas from going to Abhimanyu's help when he was caught inside the Chakra Vyuha. Chakra Vyuha is arraying the army in the form of a chakra, the wheel formation. The different ways by which you can arrange the army so that the enemies cannot penetrate, or you can overthrow the enemies by the array of your army. So Chakra Vyuha is one type of arraying the army, which is very difficult to break. Only those who have knowledge of this chakra, how to break the Chakra Vyuha, those who have knowledge of how to break into it and how to get out of it, they only can really get into this. And Abhimanyu has the knowledge of how to break the Chakra Vyuha. It's a science. It's a martial science. Chakra Vyuha, breaking the Chakra Vyuha, getting into it, and safely coming out. So it's a technique. It has to be learned. Arjuna knows how to break the Chakra Vyuha, get into it, defeat all the enemies, and then safely come back. He knows. And Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, he also knows, but he doesn't know how to come out from the Chakra Vyuha. He knows to break the Vyuha, to break the arrangement of the army and get into it, but doesn't know how to come. That's all. That is also a story. Is when Abhimanyu was in the womb of Subhadra, then that time Arjuna was describing his wife when Abhimanyu was in her womb, describing how to break the Chakra Vyuha and enter the army, enter inside. He was telling. But before he could finish how to come out, probably he left for some work, he didn't tell. And Abhimanyu, who was in the womb, was hearing. So he got to know how to break the Chakra Vyuha, but doesn't know how to come out because Arjuna, that time when Arjuna, because of some business, he went off. He didn't tell completely to his wife. And the child also could not hear complete this Vyuha, the Chakra Vyuha, breaking the Vyuha. And is breaking the Vyuha he knows, but unlocking the Vyuha he knows, but how to come out from the Vyuha he doesn't know. That science he did not learn. So therefore he was handicapped in one way, that coming out from the Chakra Vyuha, he requires help. Breaking the Vyuha doesn't need any help. He could break himself. But escaping from the Chakra Vyuha requires help. He sought help from the Pandavas. When Arjuna was not there, Arjuna was busy in fighting with others. Then the Pandavas, the other brothers of Duryodhana, they said, you can break the Vyuha, we will help you, we will come, we will follow you. But this Jayadratha, the husband of Dushala, he did not allow the other Pandavas to help Abhimanyu, to follow Abhimanyu and get into the Vyuha. So it was Abhimanyu was left out. He only penetrated the Chakra Vyuha and entered. He was alone, caught. So therefore all the Kauravas, including Karna, etc., all the people, they killed Abhimanyu. Single-handedly he fought all the people, but finally all the people, even when Abhimanyu surrendered and he lost his weapon, but still they killed him. So let's see, that is because of Jayadratha. Jayadratha did not allow others to join Abhimanyu in penetrating the Vyuha. Because of him, his son Abhimanyu was killed. Therefore, only Arjuna later in the Mahabharata, you will see he took an oath that he will kill Jayadratha very next day. Before the sunset, he would kill. He took a oath and he did it also by the grace of Krishna. Anyway, so this is, and here he could do this because earlier he had obtained a boon from Lord Shiva that would defeat all the Pandavas together except Arjuna single-handedly for one day. Who? This Jayadratha. So Jayadratha was a great warrior. He was instrumental in the death of Abhimanyu by stopping the Pandavas from going to Abhimanyu's help when he was caught inside the Chakravyuha. He could do this because earlier he had obtained a boon from Lord Shiva that he would defeat all the Pandavas together except Arjuna single-handedly for one day. So that was the day. That was the day he single-handedly tackled all the brothers of Arjuna. Arjuna was not there at that time. He was fighting with someone in the battle. Therefore, Abhimanyu was left out. Therefore, when he was caught among the Kauravas and was mercilessly killed. So Jayadratha used this boon to prevent the Pandavas from going into help Abhimanyu. This led Arjuna to make a vow. He took a vow that if he did not kill Jayadratha by sunset on the next day, he would kill himself. And the next day, Duryodhana did all to protect Jayadratha so that Arjuna would be forced to put an end to his life. But again, Krishna saved the situation by creating an artificial sunset and forcing Jayadratha out of his hiding so that Arjuna could kill him and fulfill his vow. So this is also a story. That is the next day, because Arjuna had taken a vow. So once you have taken a vow, means you have to fulfill it. What was a vow he took? If he didn't kill Jayadratha the next day, then he said, I will kill myself. I will enter into fire. Entry into fire. That was the vow he took. So, and Duryodhana, he did all. He did all to protect Jayadratha. So, protection of Jayadratha, if Jayadratha is protected, then Arjuna, without fighting Jayadratha, he would have to put an end to his life. But Bhagavan Krishna, what he did was, he created an artificial sunset. It is, before the sunset, I will kill Jayadratha. This was the vow Arjuna took. Then Duryodhana protected Jayadratha till the sunset. And the sunset was not real. It was artificially created by Bhagavan Krishna, by his Maya Shakti. See, he created a situation as though the sun is set. Thinking that the sun is set, Duryodhana allowed Jayadratha to come out. And when Jayadratha came out, Arjuna killed him. And that time sun was there in the sky. It was not sunset. So, therefore, by that, Krishna saved the life of Arjuna. Otherwise, Arjuna would have killed himself. And also, there's another story also is there. Whoever kills Jayadratha had got another boon also. Whoever kills Jayadratha, his head will be blown to 1,000 pieces. If Arjuna had killed Jayadratha, it's not kill. Whosoever and that the head of Jayadratha falls on the ground, right? Then that person head will be blown to 1,000 pieces. From whomever and the head of Jayadratha falls onto the ground, that person's head will go to 1,000 pieces. Now the arrows of Arjuna cannot kill Jayadratha directly. If it kills, then Arjuna's head will be blown to 1,000 pieces. Again, it is equivalent to the same thing, the committing suicide only. So, again, Krishna did a trick. Here, what he did was, Jayadratha's father, thinking that sun was set, he was about to sit for evening sandhya, evening worship. And when he was offering ahuti, he was offering tarpanam, keeping the hands and keeping the palms together and was offering water. Then that time, when Arjuna shot the arrow, Jayadratha's head was separated and came and rested on the palm of his father, that is Jayadratha's father. Seeing that, he dropped and his head was blown into 1,000 pieces. So Arjuna was saved. All these are the stories. The story part is not mentioned here. So therefore, in 2 ways, this next day, the very next day of the killing of Abhimanyu, Krishna saved Arjuna in twice. One is by creating artificial sunset, he made Jayadratha come out. Second thing, he made the Jayadratha, its head fall into the hands of his father, and his father head was blown to 1,000 pieces. They say 1,000 pieces. 1,000 is a number. Okay, the person will die. From whomsoever hand the head of Jayadratha falls, then that person will be killed. The person will lose his life. That is, we say, figuratively, will be blown to 1,000 pieces. So therefore, Jayadratha as well as his father both were killed. So Jayadratha is one of the important person in the Kaurava side. And many other warriors, all experts in warfare, armed with many kind of weapons. Nana Shastra Prakaranahade, they can hand many weapons, different types of weapons. They are endowed with different weapons and they can handle. And he says, Madarte Tekta Jivita, who have given up their life. Given up their life for my sake means they are ready to give up their life for my sake. Not they are given up. They are ready to give up their life. In fact, coming to the battle itself is coming to the battle and returning back is itself is a doubt. Therefore, it's equivalent to giving up their life only. So returning is not sure. They have come to the battle, whether they will go back home or not, it is not sure. Therefore, he says, those who have given up their life for my sake, they are committed to fight for my sake, on my side. They are also present on my side. Instead of calling him by name, Duryodhana addressed Drona as Bhavan. Bhavan, Bhavan, Bhavanto, Bhavantaha, Bhavan, you, your honor, you, sir, with respect. Because Drona's dearest disciple were on the other side, Duryodhana was afraid that his heart would not be on the fight. He was therefore always trying to win Drona over. Later in the battle, he began taunting him, saying that the reason he was not fighting his best because his heart was with the Pandavas. When Duryodhana was losing and Bhishma was on his deathbed, Drona became Duryodhana's commander-in-chief. See, now the commander-in-chief is Bhishma. After the death of Bhishma only, Duryodhana took Duracharya took over the commander-in-chief position. So now the commander-in-chief of the Kaurava is Bhishmacharya, the eldest of the Kauravas. He was leading the army, not Dronacharya. Dronacharya will become after the 10th day when Bhishmacharya was shot by Arjuna. Dronacharya, he took over the commander-in-chief position. So it is the hierarchy, Bhishmacharya, then Dronacharya. So when Duryodhana was losing and Bhishmacharya was on his deathbed, so it means after the 10th day, then Dronacharya became Duryodhana's commander-in-chief. He became so inflamed by Duryodhana's taunts that he was determined to take Yudhishthira dead or alive. For the first 10 days, Dronacharya, according to Duryodhana, Dronacharya was not exhibiting his full capacity. And after he took over as commander-in-chief, and when Duryodhana kept on taunting him, kept on complaining that Dronacharya was not fighting to his capacity, then that day he took a determination that he will fight, he will arrest, he will kill Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas. Killing him is defeating Pandavas, or capturing, dead or alive. Alive is capturing, taking him as a prisoner, or killing him. In both ways, the war will be end. So he was determined to put an end to the war by either killing Yudhishthira or by capturing him. So in this verse, Duryodhana acknowledged Drona's importance by using the term Bhavan with respect. Only then did he point out the invincible Bhishma, the oldest in the family and the strongest. There was no one equal to Bhishma at that time. When he fought, no one could stand against him. He had the boon that death would come to him only when he even chose it. Bhishmacharya was enjoying this boon, that is Ichha Maranam. Nobody can really kill Bhishmacharya. Even on the 10th day, when he was shot by Arjuna, he did not give up his life. He continued on the deathbed for all the 18 days. Even after that also, he continued. He was waiting for Uttarayana to come. Uttarayana, that is, the war started in the month of December. If it is December, then he was waiting for January, middle. Uttarayana starts. He was waiting. He did not give up his life immediately. Ichha Maranam, he has got the boon Ichha Maranam, death according to his wish. So, the death would come to him only when he chose it. Even Krishna, who had promised not to fight, became so impressed with Bhishma's strength that he actually took up his chakra. Krishna also became furious. So he took his chakra in the war in between, even though he had taken a vow that he will not participate in the war. He will just ride the chariot. But he took his chakra to kill Bhishma. When Arjuna was not killing Bhishma that time, Krishna became furious and he wanted to kill Bhishmacharya. Only then did he remember that he had promised not to fight. Krishna remembered that he had promised not to fight. That Krishna had been moved to pick up his chakra was enough for Bhishma and was what caused him to give up in the end. The others described in the verse are Karna, Duryodhana's answer for Arjuna, and Kripa presented here as one who was always victorious in any conflict, Samitin Jayaha, who could defeat an army single-handedly. Duryodhana also remembered to mention Drona's son Ashwathama, along with his own brother Vikarna, who was the youngest and of the same age as Ashwathama. All these are important people on the side of Duryodhana. Jayadratha, a very important person who caused the death of Arjuna's son Abhimanyu, and Saumadatti were also presented to Drona by Duryodhana. Having mentioned these people by name, Duryodhana then pointed out there were many other warriors who had joined him on the battlefield. So Duryodhana's words, other warriors, Anye, Shuraha, Madatte Tekta Jivitaha, who have given up their life for my sake, Anye, Bhagavaha, Shuraha, many warriors, Madarte Tekta Jivitaha, they have given up their life for my sake. So here, this Madarte, the war has not yet started, but Madarte Tekta Jivitaha, because Duryodhana says, they have given up their life for my sake, means this is a bad omen. Before the war started itself, he's telling, they have given up their life, means they are dead. They are dead for my sake. It means they are all dead. It means it's the sign that the words what comes from his mouth, that itself tells they have given up their life, they are dead. Being on the side of Duryodhana, they are dead. Because they are dead means Duryodhana could not win the war. Duryodhana also cannot win the war. They are dead. In the war, they were killed by the Pandavas. It means Duryodhana also cannot win the war. So he himself is telling. He is himself telling these people are going to be killed by the Pandavas and they will die. All the great warriors, they will die. If they die, then what Duryodhana alone can do? He also will die. So his words itself convey this. It's a bad omen. So instead of saying who have given up their life, you should say they are standing up with me to fight. Should put it in a positive way. But because they had put it in a negative way, therefore that becomes a bad sign, a bad omen. Therefore here, Madatte Takta Jivitaha can be taken here as a divine omen of what was to come. What is going to happen is unconsciously told by Duryodhana. or consciously Vyasacharya had put in the form of this shloka, in this verse, he has put that. Madarte tekta jivitaha, being on the side of Duryodhana, Adharmika side, they are dead. They are going to die. They are going to die. Iti. And they given up their lives, as he had said, he would have a dead army on his hands. Yes. If they are dead, then what is his army? He doesn't have army. Therefore, what will happen to him? He also will be killed. He also will die. So he meant that they were ready to give up their lives, but what he said was an example of Deva, certain words that indicate what is to come. Therefore, the words, what comes from one's mouth, is important. It indicates certain thing, what is going to come. Even though we say unconsciously the words come, but the words tell that which is going to happen. Even though it is not deliberately done, the words are not deliberately spoken, but the words convey the omen, divine sign. So such words are not deliberately spoken. The speaker means one thing, but the words themselves mean something else. Without the wish of the speaker, the words have come. So therefore it foretells what is going to happen. All these warriors are going to die. They have given up their lives for Duryodhana's sake. They are all going to die. This Deva is very uncanny. It comes out. Here it came out in Duryodhana's speech. His defeat was indicated by his own words. That's what it is. So, his defeat. He's going to be defeated. I'm going to be defeated. That is revealed by my own words. Who were these people? They were the people who had a variety of weapons. Nana Shastra Praharanaha. Variety of weapons with them. Weapons can be either praharanas, those can be aimed at and released like an arrow or spear or shastras, weapons that are held in one's hand like mace or sword. Astra and Shastra. Shastra is that which is held in the hand and fought, like sword, mace, etc. Astra is which is thrown, missiles, arrow. So Nana Shastra. So both Astra, Shastra, not Shastra, Astra, Shastra. Not only did these people come with all of these weapons, they were experts in using them. They had a thorough knowledge of weaponry in warfare, some having expertise in more than one particular martial art. In the next verse, Duryodhana, assessing the overall strength of the two armies, continued his attempt to arouse Drona's enthusiasm. That is the 10th shloka. We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.